For a lot of people, especially on Twitter, being a jerk is a good way to get your social media weight up. I'm going to talk about how some people use that and how it actually does more harm than good next. Unfortunately, social media citizenship is not nearly as valued as it should be, whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or wherever else you may be in social media. And unfortunately, especially with Twitter, there's a sense that people can gain a sort of Twitter fame by being antagonistic toward others, by being frankly nasty toward others. And in some ways, they're probably right, because the more controversial you are, the more negative that you are, sometimes that leads to better engagement because we become sort of desensitized to people who are using or offering positive content that can be even beneficial to people. It's not as fun, it's not as engaging, and it's not as enticing to some people as it is when you're doing something that's negative, when you're taking a shot at somebody, when you're engaging in a Twitter beef with somebody. Those are things that gain attention, those are things that get you likes, and that get you retweets. And it's unfortunate, but it's the reality of the world that we live in social media these days. Social media has desensitized us to a lot of things that maybe in the past we would have been more sensitive to. And it's also desensitized us in the sense that we will say things in social media that we wouldn't say to somebody in real life, face to face. And that's something that we need to be conscious of because there are people at the other end of these social media accounts. And while it may be fun and it may help you to get your weight up in social media, to get you a blue check mark or to get you more followers or to get you more retweets or likes, you have to think about the cost that it could take on not only you, but on the person that you're dealing with or the entity that you're dealing with. Now, I've always said that Twitter is the complaint department for a lot of people, and that really is true, especially for brands. When you are a brand, you are constantly a target, especially the bigger the brand. The bigger the brand, the more people who are following you, and the more influential the brand is. Anything that you do that can be perceived in any way as negative is going to make you even a larger target for people who are out there who really feel that social media is not fun unless you're being negative. In other words, they're not happy unless they're unhappy. And that's just frankly the case for far too many people in social media. So be conscious of creating a good and vibrant social media community. It doesn't mean you have to be positive with every single thing that you tweet or Facebook or put on Instagram, but it does mean that when you have the opportunities to be positive, you should really think about who is on the other end of that negative tweet or that negative Facebook comment that you're putting out there. Just because you're a little bit removed from it because it's social media and it's digital and it's not face to face, it doesn't mean that there aren't real feelings and real people on the other end of that. So think about what you're doing in social media. Doesn't mean you have to be positive with every single post that you make, but it does mean you should think about creating a positive and vibrant social media community where everybody feels like they are included and they're not attacked for something that's really just plain stupid. Now, that may help you to get more social media clout, quote unquote, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to make you a better person or a better social media community member.